When Power Rangers started in 1993, its success was so impressive that 2 years later, they decided to make a movie. Unfortunately, despite the fact that in this movie all the original actors of the series appear, and the costumes are quite similar, this movie is not canon. The worst of all is that the characters that appear in this movie are excellent. Characters like Dulcia, who complemented the plot very well, and Ivano, who has been one of the best villains we have seen in the history of Power Rangers. After this movie they made the Turbo movie, which many have labeled as a failure, and this may be because the Turbo series was not to the liking of many fans. For those of us who have seen the movie, we know that it may have a chance to be a good movie, but there are many things that ruined it, and we will talk about all of that in a video at some point. For now, let's focus on what we're going to talk about in this video, since it's been about 26 years since the release of the Turbo movie. We then had the Power Rangers movie in 2017, and obviously we all know that movie was nothing like Power Rangers. We have already criticized this movie many times. We have even used it for several lists on this channel, but we must be honest and understand that this is not the movie that we fans deserve. In this movie they changed everything and ruined the whole essence of what Power Rangers is. You can change many things, but you should never change the essence of something, because then you lose the spirit of what you are writing. In this movie they changed the costumes, and we've obviously always said that Power Rangers costumes should be improved, but here they just did something that lost the whole meaning of what a Power Ranger is. Now these characters looked like aliens and not transformed heroes in armor with great style. On top of that, instead of inventing a new story, they wanted to take another story and change it as they pleased. Worst of all, they took the most famous Power Rangers story, which is Mighty Morphin, and transformed it into a very different story. They had the opportunity to give us something excellent, with good special effects, with a new story. They could have even recreated the same story we already know from the series, and we still would have liked it. However, they just made the decision to change everything, and this only caused a disaster. It is because of all that mess that we the fans deserve a new movie, with a proper budget, and that the producers understand the franchise as we the fans understand it. What happened in the special episode was excellent, and much of the negative stuff was because of a low budget. In addition to this, the producers also did not have much time, as the special episode had to last an hour, and this makes it difficult for them to create the story the way they want. Unfortunately, the downside of this special compared to a movie is that that episode was to do a tribute to Mighty Morphin, and obviously the whole story was going to be geared towards nostalgia. For a new Power Rangers movie this can't happen, as it must be a new story, still having the essence of the franchise, but they can renew everything without losing the spirit of Power Rangers. It is because of this that the 1995 movie was successful, since at that time only 2 years had passed since the premiere of the series, so they could only aim for renewal and creativity. The important thing about this movie is that they did not lose the essence, and the advantage they had is that they were able to use the same actors that were appearing in the series. This would obviously be a big disadvantage that a new movie can have, since we will have to try to love the new actors and the new characters. The great advantage that this new movie can have is that it can use many Rangers from the past so that they can appear and give it a special detail full of nostalgia. Let's try to make an imagination and think that they are going to create a new movie. This new movie may have a new story, but it could even be the second part of the 1995 movie. In 2025, it will be 30 years since the release of this movie, and the story could use this to have a starting point. In that first movie we could see that the villain, Ivan Ooze was supposedly destroyed by a comet, and that was how the Power Rangers were able to defeat him, as he was a very powerful villain. Ivan Ooze was made of a viscous material that could stretch and was very difficult to destroy. In the new story, they could start by saying that after 30 years of wandering through space, the parts of Ivan Ooze managed to come together again, and this villain came back to life to take revenge on the Power Rangers. Obviously, these Rangers who took him out are no longer working as Power Rangers, and now there are new heroes with other powers. These new Rangers still have Zordon as their mentor, but their powers are different and come from another planet. Ivan Ooze's revenge is really focused on Zordon, so he doesn't care that there are other new Rangers. He intends to destroy them and Zordon as well. In this battle, some of the old Rangers may return, and maybe some character like Dulcia to help the new Rangers. Obviously, this new movie would not be part of the canon either, but this has never really been important, since what matters is that it is a great movie. The best example of this is still the 1995 movie, which is also not canon, but still the best movie in Power Rangers history. A new movie like this could bring new life to the franchise, as the movies always reach a different audience. Something similar happened with the special episode, as the news of the release was so big that many media outlets ran it. A movie is much bigger and is something massive that would be released in theaters. This would have a big impact on many people who may not be Power Rangers fans but may start to become one. This movie should be suitable for the whole family, and this is something we can't argue with, but at the same time it can be the thing that starts to get a lot of adults interested in Power Rangers. Then they should have series already created that are for adults, and then a new era for Power Rangers would begin. Basically, the movie would be the hook that the franchise would use to attract all those adults who like superhero movies and who would understand that Power Rangers is much more than they thought. Let's remember that Power Rangers has all the elements to compete with franchises like Marvel and DC Comics. In this franchise there is the multiverse, time travel, superheroes, incredible powers, excellent villains, a lot of history in many epic moments. This franchise just needs to be targeted to the right audience for it to be more successful. If you would like a new Power Rangers movie, give this video a like and subscribe for the second part of Power Rangers the movie.